Hey everybody, it's Bruce with Nature Calls. I'm out on the North Fork of the Snoqualmie River to do a review of the REI Flash Air Hammock system. Now I already have the Quarter Dome Air by REI and I personally love it, and it might be a bright red, but I've had some epic trips. I'll put some links to those. REI is outside of the cottage industry, but they still have these guys that are there trying to design hammocks, and I just totally appreciate the fact that they're designing hammocks. And designing a new hammock is not that easy to do. So I was really interested. I looked at their specs, and their specs didn't make sense to me, but I'm willing to take a look at it from a design standpoint. I mean, you can just make your standard design, or you can try to make something new. So let's take a look at this new hammock from REI. Okay, let's talk some specs. So the whole package deal, hopefully I can get a good reading out here in the bush, 2 pounds 14 ounces. That includes everything: the bag, cordage, tarp, stakes, hammock, bug net. So 2 pounds 13 ounces. These are the tree straps, so you got the huggers and the whoopies. So make sure we get it all on there. So each one is, come on. Now this is the tree straps and the whoopies, and what they have for carabiners, just around 4 ounces, so 2 of those. This is the 4 stakes, each stake, half an ounce, so all 4. You got 1.6 ounces. Now here is the hammock, and that has carabiners and bug net. So 1 pound 5. Try it a couple times. 1 pound 5, and nothing's touching. Okay, 1 pound 5.5 ounces, and the tarp is 13.9 ounces. All right, so one of the beauties of doing these reviews really out in the woods is you get the conditions. So I got some wind going on, but you never know what trees you're gonna have exact measurements. You're supposed to have 15 to 18 feet. I think I'm running these at quite a bit different, quite a bit longer length. We'll see if we can get it set up. But that's really the beauty of hammocks, is you can set them up in so many ways. You just have to reach up higher. The further apart you go, the higher you're gonna set your tree straps. So let's set the tree straps. Now with my Quarter Dome, I actually made a whole set of tree straps, whoopie sling style, because we have really big trees where I go hammocking, and even though these are fairly decent, they'll easily do this application. They're not big enough for like our big Douglas fir trees. Right, so they have the 1-inch webbing strap, and which I think is a really interesting topic. So it has a loop in the end here. You just stick that through. Try to make that all flat around the tree. You know, the whole tree strap thing is a great debate that's always happening, is whether or not you can use rope, whether or not that hurts the tree. Frankly, I don't care. We're getting more banned from areas, and so using the webbing helps that. So it's not that big a deal. So got them all set up, and that was it. So now they're all attached, and let's get the hammock. And so in the earlier generation of the Quarter Dome, they had carabiners. Now they've got these little C-clamps that interconnect, super lightweight aluminum, and that's all it is to hook up the hammock to the suspension. Now the suspension is basically like a whoopie sling system. They use a hollow core Dacron rope, and it just does the like Chinese finger puzzle constriction on it to hold it tight. And it's kind of a double berry that they got going on. You just have a little toggle up here, and you just pull on that tightens up the suspension. So whoa, so to loosen it up, you just pull on this black tab. To tighten it up, you just pull on that, tighten up your suspension. You're gonna go to the other end and get it nice level. What you wanna do is set up your hammock so it's basically like a 30-degree angle off the tree or thereabouts. I mean, that's just a rough guesstimate. It doesn't have to be. So I'm going to set this up because it's a little bit longer out, so that angle is actually going to be a less angle. So, but that's in general how you want it to come off the tree, and then you can just sit in it and lay in it, and if it feels good, it feels good. Now with most hammocks that you get today, even the cottage manufacturer, any of those, the ones that really sleep well, the ones that people are using, I did a whole survey on all this stuff. It has a ridge line that's part of the hammock so that you can maintain a certain sag the whole time. The REI hammock doesn't come with a ridge line, but it does come with this bug net and has a little clip, really strong clip, and it has like a piece of webbing that's going down the whole thing. So it's using webbing as a ridge line. So that'll also help. But this is the bug net, and it stays on it. We just roll it on up, and you stick it in this little foot end out of the way if you don't want it. That is a nice feature. Okay, let's hit some other specs with it. I'm going to tighten it all up so I can try and get a good length on it. And this is what I find really interesting about this hammock is the fabric and the actual design that it is it's not like all the other hammocks that are out there. So let's give that. So the hammock itself is about 9.5 feet long. So that to me as a spec was a little bit off. But even though I can't take it apart, I was looking at how they actually have made it, what the shape is. They don't have extra fabric in here at all. This is about the widest point. That's about 4.5 inches. So as the specs come, it doesn't make any sense. But I have a feeling what they've done is they have very little fabric, very little gather. They've made this area kind of like an oval type of thing where it comes up around you more. And just looking at the fabric, I mean, it's actually a really nice fabric. I think this is very similar to like what a lightweight backpack would use. It's got a ripstop grid in it. Just by feel, because they don't ever say what their fabric is. I'd say this is maybe a 30 denier, maybe a 1.6 ounce. So, but all the sewing looks just excellent. I mean, everything's done really nicely. They're not overdoing everything. It's just really well made, really, really well made. And one of the things that is probably unique about this hammock from any other one is it uses a crossbar to keep the bug netting off and your shoulders wide, and has this really super lightweight pole. It's about a 6mm pole, and you stick it in the sleeve right there, all the way over, and then it has a nice little grommet system over here. So you just take that kind of a pin end and stick that in the grommet, and then tighten it down, or tighten it up, whichever way you want to say, and makes it nice and taut. There's a little thing to keep that off your head. Pocket there on both sides. You've got this double pocket right above where your head would be, and also a gear loft. Very nice. All right, let's go for a sit. Always test your nice. Super nice. Let's give it the lay. The lie test. So we can roll these back. Okay, I need to adjust my head end up. Okay, it's not as much, being shorter, it's not as much of a banana, just because it's shorter. You know, when you have the longer it is, the more banana. So they may have been going for that. Let's try the normal diagonal lay. That's actually fairly decent. I can roll my knee. I don't have Barely any under the knee cap rising up. Huh, that's pretty nice. It's actually not bad. Okay, let's see if we can get Jaylene up here and see what she has to say about it. She's about 5'7" and I'm about 6 feet. And so she might have a little bit different feel. Okay, come on. We have Jaylene here to help me test out because she's a lot shorter than me. And so we're gonna stick her in the hammock.
And I'm nicer.
And she's nicer. So let's have Jaylene do the sit test. And being shorter and the design, I don't know what the design is because I can't take it apart. But wait, how do you feel?
I like it.
She likes it. Okay, do a little bit a diagonal type of. Good deal. You like that? Feels pretty good.
Oh.
That feels pretty good. Yeah. You gotta tuck that way.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm a real film star.
So you're in a diagonal. Do you like the diagonal better than the banana? Well, she kind of just rolls all around and gets in balls and all kinds of things when she's hammocking. So it's kind of, don't you?
Yeah, but you don't have to say that.
But I mean, she's very comfortable in hammocks. So yeah, I feel like I put my knee out. I could do a lot. Yeah.
I think it's very comfortable.
Very comfortable. All right, so let's put a pad in there. See if that makes a big difference. Since it has pad straps in it, we're gonna put pad in it. All right, so now we have the pad in there, and that's the T&H dual chamber pad. I'll put a link to it. It's really cool. So you only lose one side if you get a hole in it. Let's give that a try. Great.
Oh my god, it's so warm.
It does like swaying in a hammock. Okay, let's stop her. She's kind of in her normal little curl up position that she hammocks in, but let's see you stretch out in like a banana length, full this long line.
That's awesome.
How's that? It's good.
Way warmer with this thing.
Yeah, it's way warmer with a pad. Obviously, I brought it under quilt as well. Okay, do a little. You can't really do diagonal with a pad. I mean, it's fixed in place, so it's not bad.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. So, okay, let me give it a shot.
Is that just for storage underneath?
Yeah, it's where you can put your shoes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, there's one thing that I don't like, where you put your shoes. It's the last thing you do when you get in bed. So. Definitely, it's not as much of a banana lay as our longer hammocks. Being a shorter one, it's more for this inline lay. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, hook that onto the little spreader bars. They don't see. That's what I'm wondering about the design of the fabric. She likes how this comes up a little bit. It's going to knock any wind off of her. That's, you know, that's with the cut of the cloth. I can't tell what the cut of the cloth is. It's real nice to have these line locks, so we can center it perfectly above the hammock. Oh, they have added some little loops here, so you can, I could put like a whole line in here if I wanted to do a structural ridge line. That's really nice. Nice addition. We can just pinch that, tighten it nice and tight. Okay, let's stake it out. These stakes are definitely lightweight stakes. That's pretty good though. Solid. That is super solid. That is awesome. Now this here would be what I would do for a rain setup. You know, get that tarp down low. You're kind of like in a bivy sack. Because on the last hammock I did with this same tarp, everybody was complaining about how it wasn't long enough. They're long enough. They're light. They're really good tarps. So that is kind of a storm mode. I could even tie it down tighter if I had to. Tarps you have to be ready to make in all kinds of configurations. And so this tarp can do that. Of course, if you're going out winter camping, you probably want a bigger one, but for normal year-round, like if I was doing a long hike even, this would be ample tarp. Well, it turns out all the wind and knocking over camera equipment kind of ruined a couple of things, so I'll just voice over the rest. Here I'm just showing the porch mode, which is a standard mode for the tarp, and that the tarp can do it. This tarp is just slightly smaller than a tarp I would normally use, but it does everything. So from spring till fall, I would use this tarp easy. I guess the whole point is that this is a new design hammock. It's different. You just can't go off of the specs and the measurements. The shape of the cut of the cloth and the way it feels and hangs and everything about it is really different. I would personally choose it over one of my custom hammocks, but Jaylene felt very comfortable in it. She felt very comfortable either with the pad or with the underquilt. She could sleep diagonally and sleep the way she liked. It was just slightly small for me, which is I find really curious because I use an 11-foot hammock, but I could go diagonal. If I had to, I could have slept on that sleeping bed because it was a lot flatter than in a longer hammock, I think. So just, by the way they designed it. So, you know, don't just poo-poo it because it's of the specs. If it's something that you think would work for you, I would definitely give it a lay. And what's really nice is that REI has their return policy, so you're really not out anything. So if you're looking for a good all-in-one system, I would definitely give this a try. And I'm always excited about new designs. It's really easy to copy an old design or the standard design, but I think the guys down there at REI, and I'd love to meet them if they ever watch this, they really got some neat things going on in their head. So, all right, take care and hope to see y'all out on the trail. Bye now.